Hi there. I'm just dyeing up some rovings for next weekend's shop drop. I've just done a batch of solid rovings just on a breed. I've used Blueface Leicester, Pinto-Neris, and the other one, I think it was Jacob. Hi Liz, still can't master the art of YouTube live in the living room. Get down, Scardy. So what we're dyeing in the pan, well, that's what I'm just getting into. I'm getting there. So Scardy, go lie down right now. Honestly, this dog's gonna kill me. I swear she's got an insurance policy out on me. Yeah, so what I've got in the tray now is 200 grams of Punto-Neris. So usually when I do my rovings, I like to list as a roving on the website, or my tops, is I always do 200 grams of each colourway. So if you ever see a new batch on the website, you can order it as a 200 gram listing. Otherwise, I list it actually as 100 grams. So there's 200 grams on there too, 100 grams. But if it's new and you want to buy it as a larger roving, then just contact me, because that actually works out cheaper to buy it in bulk than it is to buy it as singulars, because obviously I list it as everybody else does for the going rate. So yeah, so I have got moss green, I have got antique mauve, I have a dusky blue that I've made up, then I've got this sandy colour, and I have got cream. You're like, Joe, it's already cream. Yeah, I know it's already cream, but this is like a buttercream. So it's already got citric acid in the bottom of the tray. I'm just going to turn that heat down. It really doesn't take long at all. I'm just going to move this out the way, because I like to spin my trays around so they get an even heat. Otherwise it's just the middle, because underneath here, I'll move it before I get anywhere, is my wok ring in the middle. So I like to let the middle heat up first, and then I generally do that, swing it around, and then again the other side. These are just really deep roasting trays. I buy them from Amazon or IKEA if I can get there. IKEA, the closest ones to us is Newcastle, which is a good 2 hours drive across country, or down to Warrington, which is another 2 hours plus down to there. So I tend to, this one's from IKEA, but I tend to buy them off of Amazon, and they're not overly expensive. Just a large, deep stainless steel roasting tray with the handles on them. They usually come in a pack of 2, so you get a smaller one and this one, and they work at about 20 quid for a pack of 2, which is not too bad. I am due to buy some new ones. I'm just turning it around a bit. I'm going to turn that heat down so it doesn't heat up too quickly. It won't burn because there's already water in the bottom of it, and I've just added my dye stock in, and I've filled up. It's 250 millilitres each of these tubs. But I've already got my colours written out. I need to do them as I go along. So that one is based on a picture I found of a starling. So these are all the reflective colours. So that starling, so it's cream fawn, bluey grey, mauve, and a moss green. So the next one I need to prep for and get the colours ready for is for one called Heather Mist. So I'll be using a tobacco dye, a Cabernet, either orchid or blush. I need to have a look at the pigment, a lilac, and a soft baby blue, which is what I'm going to do next. But this one's Punto-Neris that's in here now. It's getting hot really, really quick. And so the citric acid's in there already. So I just need to get my dyes sorted out. We'll lift you over the other side. So I've not got my back to you. Oh, honestly, I've just jarred my back. Don't help that the flaming dog's jumping up at me. Right, so let me just turn you around a minute. Now, I cannot, for the love of me, find my favourite spoons for my dyes. So all I need to do at the moment is just pick out the dyes out of my tubs. So I've got a process that each one of these tubs has a collection of different dyes of different colours. So this one is blue, grey and black. So all the shades of blues and greys that I can fit in there. I've got one that's purples to pinks, one that's green and green blues, in other words sages and teals. Another one is brown yellows to oranges, and the other one over the far side are like reds and maroon sort of tones and hues and stuff like that. So I need to find my moss. Now I know I've just had that, right? I want moss and I need tobacco as well. See if I can find it in here somewhere. Oh, so I have, if you go looking after this video, I have put up a reels, and in the reels is a little bubble that says Q&A. So if you put a question in the Q&A in the bubble, I will get back to you and make a video up over the next couple of weeks, answering any questions or thoughts or ideas that you might have, or queries or whatever's on your mind, for YouTube only. I'm just looking for this tobacco. I know it's around here somewhere. And I will get back to you on it and put them like a little video together. Right, so that's tobacco, and I just had the moss then. I'll put it somewhere. What do I need now? Cabernet, which is around here somewhere. It'll be in the reds. So yeah, so if you pop over and have a look at the reels, you'll be able to find that bubble and you'll be able to put down any suggestions that you might have. I'm looking for the, how come you can never find it when you're looking for it? Delphinium blue, that's from doing my solid colours. Well, I'll do Bordeaux instead because it's a bit too pinky. I really want Cabernet. Where has she gone? Honestly, I have had it this morning because I used it. There it is. Cabernet, put Bordeaux back in the reds. What else am I looking for? An orchid blush. So I've got my purples and pinks here. It's just easier to have them. If you're collecting your dyes and stuff like that, it's just easier to actually have boxes with a different colour. Put a little label on the front so you know where you're looking for, and it's easier for tidying up as well. To be fair, I really need to have a good word with these boxes and give them a good clean up. Right, I'm looking for no, I don't want berry blush. Right, orchid, and where's the other one? Deep purple, plum dandy. Right, I've got one of these pinks. This is more of a purpley pink. That's it. More of a purpley pink than it is a pink. If that makes any sense. I need the lilac as well. There we go. I've got lilac and soft baby blue. Soft blue. There we go, baby blue eyes. And I want to add a little bit of grey into that to make it dusky. I should have, where is it? I should have it here somewhere. There is a grey that I like to use. There it is. It's called Platinum, and it's a really, really soft grey. Right, so I need to mix that up. So we'll just come over here, and then I'll get these spooned in. So I've got the back door open if anyone's worried about ventilation. I need to just spin this tray around as well. Spin the tray around, let this get a bit heat in it. That should be more or less done. It literally does not take a long time because I don't use a massive load of pigment. I do when I'm using my big pot for doing my solid colours. I'll probably use more there and a bit more citric acid, but because I know I'm only dyeing in small sections, I don't over pigment my dye stock pots, my little pots. So I'm just going to grab my little teaspoon because I can't find my favourite measuring spoons. They're probably inside one of those dye pots. What we got? Platinum blue. So I need this one here. Platinum grey. mixed with baby blue eyes, so I can get a nice dusky blue. There we go. It's supposed to represent moody clouds in the sky, and that's blue as well. Put that back in there. And then I have got my Valentine blush. So baby blue goes over here, and then I've got my Valentine blush to represent the heather here, which they're in abundance right now. So that goes next to pinks and purples, back in there, goes next to the blue. And then I have got Cabernet. Not a lot of it, it's quite strong pigment, this one, which you will see in a bit when I put it on the next rovings. Put the Cabernet back in there. See what I mean about being easier to be organised if you've got a couple of boxes to put your dyes in, especially if you've got quite a collection. And then I'm using this tobacco. This tobacco, it's a Dharma dye, it does split. It goes into like a mossy lichen colour, and I quite like it. That's going to go in my greens. Where is it there? I quite like the way it splits, and I like the sort of citric green that it gives off. So the tobacco goes there, and then what's the last one? Lilac. That one there, and the next lilac, and then the dusky blue. There we go. And I've already got hot water sat in my kettle. And this is generally how I go. I have one on the go and then get ready for the next one. So 250 millilitres. I just fill them up, especially when I'm doing this, because when I take these rovings out in a minute, I put fresh water straight in the tray. So more than anything, well, for two reasons. One, I start with the fresh, clean water before I even put anything in there, and I make sure that the tray's cleaned out and there's no dye pigments left around the edges, like sometimes there can be. Honestly, I've got an audience. Look at this. I have a dog and a cat. Oh, excuse my washing. Honestly, I've not been great. I've been in agony the last couple of weeks. Look, the belt came this morning, Liz. Honestly, I can breathe and cough without fearing. So I can actually move around a little bit better today. Oh dear. You know when you order something from that shop online, and usually I'm the last one to get any deliveries, and I thought it's going to not turn up until 7 o'clock tonight, and I need it now because I don't think I could get through another night in pain. So yeah, so it came this morning. It literally came an hour ago, straight on. Oh, yeah, please squeeze that flaming sciatica. Right, so my tongs. Let me just lift these colours to see how they're looking. Yeah. Now, when I do my tray dyeing, I don't expect my colours to, that still needs a bit more time. I don't expect my colours to soak all the way through when I'm doing it like this. I don't actually mind if either A, the colours bleed through a bit, or B, I'm left with some parts that are left a bit naked. It doesn't bother me, and if anything, I quite like it. I quite like it like that. So I'm gonna get some more citric acid. I wouldn't normally do too much, but I'm just gonna add a little touch more. Or just a touch. There's barely a gram there, but this mauve's taken a little while to saturate into the world. The green's all gone. I'll do a little bit on the blue just in case. Yeah, so I was saying, so I like to, for two reasons with the tray. When I take the roving out, when I'm doing them like this in tray dyeing, I like to make sure that I have no pigment caked up around the edge. And I give it a quick swill out while I'm moving the sink. I pour all of it straight into the sink. give it a quick swirl out, and then I put barely a centimetre's depth worth of water in the tray to start a new wool. Partly because it helps cool the tray down, because I'm usually dyeing in batches, so as soon as one's done I've got another one, and today I've got another 4 more to get dyed up. So I generally just do that and then get one in, and that's in the sink and it's soaking, and then I get the other one on the go. And I like the tray to be cool so that I can at least layer the wool or the roving in the tray before I add the dyes in. It just means it's easier for me to work with and handle. So I'm just waiting. I don't want to put the heat up because it's on quite a big ring, so I'm just going to leave that there for a minute. Everything else has caught. It's just this mauve that's taking its time. There we go. Has anybody got any questions? If you've never spoke to us on here before in any of my live chats, just say a hiya. Don't worry, I don't bite. Any questions are not stupid questions. If you're new to this, then it's not a problem. Nothing, honestly, we've all been there. If you've never done anything like this before but are curious, say hiya. And you can just have a chat if you just want a bit of company. It's school holidays, everyone's going mental. Thankfully, my lot are all adults. So if they don't want to speak during the holidays anymore, they don't have to. Just waiting for that. Everything else has saturated in the tray. That I do love that ivory. It's such a pretty buttery colour. So, see, as soon as there's 5 people on here, as soon as I say, if you fancy chatting, then you're more than welcome to, they all disappear. So, Liz, you still can't master the art of YouTube on the living room table. I use Roku. I've got a Roku TV. So it's not too bad. You just have to make sure that if you want to like someone's video, I might actually pull it up on the computer, up on the TV in a minute. But all you have to do is just push your arrow up to highlight the subscribe, like the channels, the person you're watching channel, and you'll see the thumbs, the ups and downs thumbs. Just tap on those, and that way you can actually subscribe to them. You click on that for subscribe, or their actual little round circle logo. Tap on that and it takes them straight through to the channel. You make it look so easy. It is easy, Liz. It is easy. It's just about timing. And at the moment, I'm just waiting for this really stubborn mauve to saturate in the wool. It might not, and sometimes it doesn't. Unfortunately, I haven't brought any tri-logo or silk downstairs with me. It's saturated on this side. It's just this side's been a bit stubborn. It's still got a little bit of pink pigment in there. I'll show you. Oh, I'm going to lose my tongues. Right. So you can see on this side here. Oh, there we go. You can see on this side here, it's actually, oh God, a minute, clear. That water's clear in there. You can see the tin underneath. But on this side, it's still bleeding a bit. So this is the side that I'm waiting for. And that's the side it's actually got. It's not on the TV now, not in sync with your phone. I can talk on my phone, so have them both on. Oh, you know. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just waiting for this one little stubborn bit on this far side, and then that will be ready to go in the sink. And I'll actually just turn the heat off on that now, because it's only a tiny little bit on the side, and otherwise I'll be stood here all day waiting for it. But everything else is saturated in there, so get that off. Dog, watch out. And just literally, quite literally, throw it straight in the sink with my little dash of fabric conditioner. Sometimes I use hand soap. All depends on what I've got, but I had some fabric conditioner that needed used up. Right, so I literally put enough water in that tray. Can you see it swirling around? You'd be lucky if it's a centimetre deep. But it's enough for me to put in my citric acid now, so that I can let it start melting and dissolving in the water. So I use coffee spoons. You know, the ones you get when you get a coffee maker. So that's what I use. Now layering, I'll do two different ways of layering fibre in the tray. I'll do this up and down one that you've just seen me doing. Now I'm going to use a bamboo merino. So I'm going to work, it's been 200 grams folded in half. So here's the two ends. And then I soak it in the sink for about half an hour, sometimes longer, but usually about half an hour. And then I just lay the two pieces together in the tray up and down. And this is so you get short colour changes in the actual roving when you're working with it. And that short colour changes can be really, really pretty for spinning with, especially if you're going to use it as a singles or something like that. I like to do it, or some people like to do it so they can make faux lags at home, like faux roll lags, which is one of those little things where you've got nothing else to do and you want to do some roll lags, but your roving that you bought has got short colour changes, but you want to do something a little bit different. Well, that's what it's good for. For those days when you just want to fart around, the winter days are in, you've got nothing else better to do than mess around with some wool. And then short colour change rovings that's what it's good for. And then make yourself some little roll-lags and just take the sections off the roving, the colour sections, and you could end up like, I don't know, a purple with a hint of blue in there, but the other side you could have a purple with a hint of green on the other side. And then when you turn them to roll-lags, you've got these little splashes of colours in. And then the next piece, it could be blue with a hint of pink. And then on the next one, it could be pink with a hint of purple and green. So when you're blending and making them up into little roll-lags and stuff, it's really quite sweet. So I'm just going to do my Misty Heather. I'm going to put my bluey grey up this far end. There we go. Then I've got my lilac, but it's actually quite a bold lilac. Put that on there. And then I'm going to come back down the bottom. I'm going to put my tobacco in. Now my citric acid's already in here. There's only about, if you're lucky, if there's 1.5 grams worth of citric acid. No, about 5 grams. Sorry, I'm telling a lie. I am lying. About 5 grams of citric acid is in this tray. Right, so I'm going in with this Cabernet next. I've got a dog trying to kill herself. Right, just pour that through on there. And then we have this other colour, which is my blush. There we go. I'm just going to tamper it down with my fingers. This is why I've got really rubbish nails. My nails get all right after a week or two, but for the rest of the weekend, they're absolutely pants, and they're so brittle, but they're brittle anyway, so it makes no difference to me. Right, and this lovely, lovely dusky blue that I've made over here. All right, turn the heat on. That is going to be gorgeous once that's dyed up. I love this blue colour that I've made. And that's with a hint, where we go. There we go. That blue up the top, it is baby blue eyes and Dharma dye with a dash of platinum grey. It's my favourite grey, as I said, to mix up with. I do have a darker greys, but I think they've got a bit of a bluey tone behind them, whereas this platinum grey is really, really nice. My favourite grey dye to work with, and I have no idea where they get their dye pigments from, but Wilder Wool's grey I find is a really lovely true grey, and I really quite like that. So we're just going to give this a minute. We're going to let that cool down. So while that's doing what it's doing, I need to now go back over to the other side and work on my next colours. But I'm just going to give these quick rinse out. Hang on a minute, let me see. Yeah, I'm going to give these a quick rinse out in the sink. Bear with me a second. There we go. A little swirl in the water. Makes no difference. It's not going to affect the wheels that are in there. The amount of water that's in this sink now is make a blind bit of difference. Right, so put my pots back into the row and work in, and we'll take you back over to the other side. You love platinum grey you use. It's very natural looking. It's lovely. It's like a really soft dove grey. I really, really like it. Right, so my next one I'm going to do is greys, and it's called Smoky Green. It's from an image that I found of a cat with these weird green eyes. So now I need a really dark blue, so I'm going to go with blue steel. And I know it's here somewhere, because I had it earlier. Right, silver grey, blue steel. So I've got my blue steel, so I need that. Laminate, I need a pen. Look. Yeah, they both flaming move the minute the camera's on them. Like, yeah, we're not guilty of anything. Right, so I'm just going to tick off that I've done my heather mist and the starling. I'm now doing smoky green. So I want blue steel and I want sage. Let me just move these down a level so I can get in. I want sage green. Where is it? Where's the greens? No, they're here. Right. Pistachio, tobacco, sage leaf, that'll do. This one, sage green, pistachio, I've just said I wanted. Yeah, I've got pistachio. I'm not doing a lot of colour mixing today. I'm just trying to make my life a little bit easier because I am in pain. Right, so next I want my platinum, which is over there. It is platinum, and I want silver grey. So I'm going to use these colours next. Look, everywhere I go, I have a shadow. I'm constantly being watched. Right, so while that's doing what it needs to do, we'll spin that around. I may need to add a little bit of extra citric acid to it, but we'll sort that out in a minute. If that's the case, we'll just let them do what they need to do. So I'm back over here putting dyes in my pot. So my first colour is blue steel. Oh, actually, I'll go in the reverse order. I'll do my grey first. So silver grey. And I'm not putting any specific amount in. I know what these colours look like with how much how much dye I use in each pot, and I know the shade of them already. So in my head, I know how much to use and what not to use it. And with experience, you get that yourself anyway. So I'm using the pistachio. Some dyes you'll find you'll use it a lot more. A lot of it. Some of the dyes you'll find that you don't use half as much because they are really strong and bold. So that's my sage green. Now my next one is blue steel, but what I'm going to do with the blue steel is, you know what, I'm not going to go blue steel. Am I going to go blue steel? Yes, I am, apparently. I was going to go with navy. It's alright, I'll go blue steel. I'm going to go quite strong on that one. Right, okay, so I want to put these back in my tubs. So there's my blues. It's all the blues and the greys today. Actually, that's sage and pistachio. Ione, you need to move, love. And I've got water still in here, so 250 mils in the pots. If you're looking for pots, if you go to World of Wool, you can get this style from them with the lip on it. I've not long replaced most of these. I bought a set of these off of Amazon, and they cost me well under a tenner for a pack of, I think it was a pack of 5. I'm sure there's another one down there on the floor with the rest of my other die trays. They're not overly expensive, and they're 250ml pots. I'm nearly finished with this one. I just need to heat that water back out with tap, and there we go. So those are ready for my next roving. Oh. Right, let's have a little look, see how this is doing at this end. So, yeah, that tobacco is nearly penetrated through all that wilt. So that's nearly done. How's this one doing? Yeah, not long to go with that. I'm going to turn this around for a little bit. I love how the colours are splitting. So you've got the lilac here, but it's got a pink undertone. But it's also got a grey in there as well. So it's definitely got like 2 or 3 different pigments that are used in the makeup of that dye. But I tell you, it looks really pretty. Look how it's split. Let me see. Can you see how much it's split into 3 different shades? That's going to be a really pretty one as well, that roving. So we're just going to wait for that. Shall I go with a bit more? I think that's fixed anyway, and that's saturated through. That's all right. Yeah, we're just working on that's nearly done. It's just this tobacco. It's such a strange pigment colour. I'm going to have to leave that up there for a little bit longer, but it's nearly done. It's again, one side of the tray. That's all I'm waiting for. One side of that flaming tray. Right, so next I'm going to use, what colours were I going to go with this? I think this one was going to be merino bamboo. So we've got a merino bamboo to go in on the next one. And on the merino bamboo, what I will do with that one is do colour sections, longer colour sections. But they will bleed into each other, which is it just makes for a really lovely fibre when it does bleed into other colours, like giving that contrast. And it's nice as well you love the variations you get with hand dyeing. You get natural bleeds and gradual colour changes here and there, like magic. Yeah, that's what I'm the same as well. That's what I like. The lilac, I don't know why, it's got to be because it's made up of numerous colours as to why it splits. But then, to be fair, you can use acid dye and tie-dye dyeing as well. I've seen people using it in ice dyeing. Not something I've had a go at. I don't make ice up in the freezer, so I might have to do an experiment and have a try of it myself, the ice dyeing, and just buy a couple of bags of ice cubes, leave them in the chest freezer, because I don't have ice at all, ice cubes, don't make them. Right, I think that's going to be enough. Iona, you need to move out my way, love. Come on, move. Right, so that's going in the sink now to go and get soaked in the fabric conditioner, and it will help reduce the pH from the citric acid that's in that wool now. There we go. And I literally just give it a quick swirl around, make sure there's no residue, a little dash. A little dash of water just to sit in the base there so that my citric acid has something to sit in. Where's my spoon? While it starts to dissolve. There we go. Right. So the next one, please Joe, would be fun video further down the line. Yeah, the ice, yeah, do you know, it's just something I've never thought to do, but I will do it because then with the ice dyeing, you can actually see the colours split as they're penetrating through into the fibre, either into the fibre or into the, what's the word I'm looking for? Into the wool. You can do it with wool and you can do it with cotton. If you're doing it with cotton, you want to pre-soak it in whatever mordant you're going to use. You can, I know for a fact, on Dharma Dye, you can find them on Instagram. They've got cotton dyes that actually purposely split for tie dyeing. It's something they've brought out over the last couple of years, and you can get them. I buy mine from a lady in Birmingham, and it is Dharma's Home of Crafts. Not Dharma. Is it Dana? Dana's Home of Crafts. Do you know, I'll put a link in this chat. I can't remember. Do you know, they'll be on the pops. No, they're not. You would have thought they would have been. There we go. Dana's Home of Crafts. D-I-N-A Home of Crafts. She's based in Birmingham. She used to just be online, but she's bricks and mortar now. She does have Procyon dyes if you want for working in Dharma. She's got a full collection of the Procyon dyes for Dharma dyes, and Dharma do actually make a point of trying to make some of the dyes so they're really interesting for doing tie-dye. So if you want to have a go at that and experiment with that, then that's where you want to get that dye from. Some of them are specifically, if you go and look up, as I was saying, if you go and look up Dharma dyes, D-H-A-R-M-A, sorry, go and look them up on Instagram and you'll see their posts over the last year or two. And you'll see tie dyes. They've got different names. Some of their dyes, some of the acid dyes, as well as some of the Procyon dyes, they've been specifically making them so that the dye splits into different variations. Well, you get from behind my feet, girls. Right, so this one's the grey. So I just want to find the end of this bamboo. Hold on a sec. I'll try this one. Is that it? No. Bear with me a second. I'm just finding the end of my bamboo merino roving so I can get it layered in the tray. There it is. Move my tongue out of the way. So this time I'm gonna layer the wool from side to side. This way I can put the dye stock solution that I'm using along in lengths, but what I'll end up with is longer colour transitions because of the way that the wool's been placed in the tray. There's not really any other way that you can place the wool in the tray in the sense of it being practical and being a proven way of doing it. I've been dyeing rovings now for 8 years professionally. So this is just tried and tested. It means that you can get a variety of different, whether you want to spin with it or blend it or whatever. These are just the best practical ways. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can sit and experiment and do it in a circle and then put your dyes out and stuff like that, so it's like in a clock. There's somebody on YouTube that does that now and again. I don't really see the point of doing that. I think if you're gonna go to the expense of buying your own wools and buying your own dyes and have something that's really nice and pretty that you can work with and use in projects, then just think a little bit more on you can be creative, but on more on the practical side of working with it. I mean, I could do one where I do it in the middle, but for me, I know that my customers aren't going to buy that, and I can't imagine how I'm going to be able to use that myself. That's not to say that I won't have a look, see if I've got any wills upstairs that has been sat in my box, my stock box for a while, and have an experiment and do that and show you on another live chat. But I don't see the practical reasons for doing it. But then maybe that's because I'm doing this for a business. This is a business to me, not just experiments. So I've got to think about you guys and how you guys are going to use it. So I'm going in with my silver grey first. And I'm just pouring it straight over lengthways, or widthwise, sorry, along this section here. So you can see that is at least 2 stretches across. I'm going to come in up the top. I'm going to put that up there. That's my blue steel. And it's a really, really dark blue. I'm going to let that just sit and soak for a minute. Here's the silver, the platinum, a lot lighter. And it's got like a near fawn sort of undertone underneath it. Then we've got this pistachio green, and then I'm going to go in with the sage. All right, I'm going to go with the digits because they're already starting to change colour. So go in with the digits and push down. And I want those colours to transition into each other a little bit. But can you see how you've got those stretches? I'll bring you over in a minute, but you've got those longer stretches of colour along the roving now. There we go. On a sec before I switch it on. So you have got, see how I've gone from side to side. So now when I open up this roving, it'll end up with longer strands of colour going down in a gradient. Whereas on one, the other two that I was dyeing, it was up and down lengthways, so you end up with shorter transitions. I'll show you in a sec. We'll turn this on first because she's off on one again, and I have to watch my time because I've been here 44 minutes now. So let me see if we can take, are we ready to come out yet? Right, so you can see on this one, this is the one that I put up and down, okay? But can you see that the shorter colour transitions, the colours change really quickly from one to the other. So you've got green, then you've got a bit of pink, and then it goes into the dusky blue. So that's how short the colour transitions are when you do them, lay out your roving up and down. Because I've gone from side to side, I end up with longer colour transitions on the roving. Pop that there for now. So my next colourways, I'm just going to turn that down a little. I don't want it burning, and I want to just quickly turn that around so that that dark blue there we go. So that dark blue gets saturated first before it starts to bleed too much into the green. So if you like this video, this live chat, when you come back and watch it later on, please do hit that thumbs up. The little button here, if you're watching on your TV, you can just hit the thumbs up button if you go up with your remote control and you click on it, and it should come up with the title of the video and the little icon, little round icon of the person's channel you're watching, and next to that will be two little thumbs up. So I appreciate if you could hit that thumbs up. If not, do it later on. If you don't already subscribe, please do subscribe and hit that notification bell. It's free, it doesn't cost you anything at all to do that, but what you're doing is actually helping my channel to grow. I'm about 7 away from 1,000, and I've been on YouTube now for 5 years. Much to the encouragement of customers like Liz, who's been with me since before I even had my own website. Liz was ordering off me when I used to be on Etsy. And so the other one, a couple of others that come on here, usually on my chats when it's not the summer holidays and everyone's got some spare time. So yeah, I've got quite a loyal following on my YouTube channel who all encouraged me to come on here years ago. So I would really appreciate if I could get to 1,000 this year. I don't get paid for any of the content that I put on here, so if you would like to support my channel, my YouTube channel, you can come over and join Patreon. Patreon get more access, or get early access to videos and early content. I do release the videos from Patreon about 6 months to a year later, depending. So yeah, you'll get access to videos that you wouldn't have seen on YouTube at all, but you'll also get access to earlier content that YouTube will get eventually, but you'll definitely get first. So you could go over there if you are going onto Patreon, whether it's for me or for somebody else, and you use an iPhone. Don't download the Patreon app on your iPhone. Last year Apple decided that they were going to start putting a surcharge onto the Patreon app, so they actually charge you extra, and you, like say you're giving me sponsoring me £3 a month, they will charge you an extra X amount of fee percentage on top of that, and it's nothing to do with the Patreon content creators. That's Apple. So if you do have an Apple phone, I would advise you to go onto the Google search or Firefox or Safari or Yahoo or whoever you use. Go on there and have a look for and actually search up Patreon, and you'll be able to get there and access all the content via the search engine, and it won't cost you any extra. You'll literally just be paying your membership, and that's it. So there's loads of people out there. Otherwise, if you're on Android like I am and have a Samsung Galaxy or whatever, then it doesn't cost you any extra for your app, for the Patreon app. You can access that no extra cost than what you're already paying as a member. So there we go. Anyway, that's me, I think, just about going to go, because this one's going to go in the sink next and soak, and I've got 2 more to do, which are both soya, merino soya. So the next 2 I'm going to do is a lovely bluey grey, a mossy grey, sage, mustard and cream. Yeah, and then I've got 3 more to do. Then pumpkin thyme is another one. That one that I just said was Art Deco. Then I've got pumpkin thyme, which is grass yellow, moss, peach, fawn and saffron. Then Quatera, which will be peach brown, navy with a hint of grey, and a grey blue. And then crystal will be pistachio, plum, ballerina pink, baby blue and turquoise. So those are the colours I'm going up with next. So you can catch me next week over on Instagram. I do Instagram usually every other Saturday, and when I'm doing that, I usually have my new stock that's going onto the website, which would have been listed, but you guys will get first peek properly, and I'll talk you through what I've got. So all this lot will get listed a week on Saturday. I do custom orders, so if anybody's interested, I will be getting ready to do my Christmas advents next month, because the listing for that runs out the end of this month, first week in September. They'll be coming off the website in the next 3 weeks. Yeah, about 3 weeks time they'll be coming off the website. So if you're interested in one of my Christmas advents, or you want a link for it, please do just get in touch with me and I will send you the link. There's 3 different ones that you can opt for: the 4 Sundays of Advent or the 12 days of Advent. They're available now for a limited time, so if you want one, you've got 3 weeks to get yourself ordered. I think that's it for now. So you take care of yourselves. I shall catch you up. I'll put a video up next week. Don't forget, go and contact that reel or put your questions in below on the comments for any Q&A, thoughts, queries or ideas, and I can put a video together in a fortnight's time with those questions. Otherwise, I will see you again for a live in a fortnight. Watch out for reels. I will let you know what day. Take care for now. Bye.